This daily market update has been brought to you by Daily Wealth Report. Trading involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for you. Past performance is no guarantee or reliable indication of future results. All advice and education content is of the nature of general information only and must not in any way be construed or relied upon as legal, financial, or personal advice.
Good morning, traders and investors. It is Tuesday, the 21st of August. We've seen some selling activity in Europe and the US, although it was quite mild. It really wasn't a strong day of downwards activity, just a little bit of hesitation across the board as investors are a little uncertain as to where the markets are going right now. As we take a look in Europe, we can see the FTSE 100 at the moment. It was closing down 28 points by the end of the session. That's nearly 0.5%. Closing at 5,824, and we can see a red candle there with a large tail on the bottom, so a little bit of hesitation from the markets, but then again it wasn't strong dominating selling pressure. The markets have been going sideways on the FTSE there for nearly 2 weeks, and that's a topping out or a consolidation pattern after the nice solid upwards trend that had formed from late July. Taking a look at the German DAX, it was a little bit less certain in its movement, and we can see a very small candle with shadows either side. We call that a spinning top pattern there. The German DAX closed down 7 points. That's just 0.1%, closing at 7,033. The French CAC 40 wasn't too different to the German DAX. It closed down 7 points or 0.2%, closing at 3,480 in a very similar price action. As we take a look at the US markets, the Dow Jones had barely moved at the start of the week. It had closed down 3.5 points. That's barely unchanged at all, certainly when the index had closed at 13,271. So as a percentage term, that's virtually unchanged. We can see there's a little bit of hesitation at the top of these long-term highs that had been formed earlier in the year, and really the small candlestick activity just denotes the lack of volatility that's going through the markets right now. The Nasdaq index was only 0.4 of a point down, so again that too was virtually unchanged. That closed at 3,076, and the S&P 500 remained flat as well. It closed at 1,418, so virtually unchanged yet again. And as one can imagine, the volatility in the markets really has been sucked out. The VIX index, which represents volatility, it did close up 57 cents or 4% at 1402, but it had extended its retracement at the end of last week. So this mild upwards shift today was really just a mild recovery rather than any signal that investors were becoming fearful of where the market direction was heading. Back looking at the markets, the ASX 200 had closed down 10 points on Monday at 4,360. It's a very mild movement against the short-term rally that's in play, and does not denote any real strong seller strength there either. Australian investors were really absorbing the dividend, the ex-dividend dates for a few of our key stocks in the top ASX 20 list, and were then anticipating what might occur through Europe and the US, which, as we can see, barely anything has happened, and hence that has had very little effect on our SPY futures ahead of the market open. They're up 4 points ahead of the opening bell, virtually unchanged, and that offers us very little indication as to what might happen at the start of the day today. That's quite a boring summary, really, when we consider it, but that's the action overnight. Bit of volume activity would be great to see some movement occurring, but we will have to see this first before we can even take any action. Well, that's our summary for Tuesday the 21st of August, and we look forward to giving you an update again tomorrow.